That said, being a part of some big projects, like the original Evangelion director's cut that I was involved with, which is funny because I haven't even watched any of the new movies that I'm in. But being a part of something that fans had never seen before was a big deal. Like, especially as an Ava fan, to know what, uh, what was being seen when you see her looking through the binoculars. That was a scene that I was in, and I'd always seen that scene, and I didn't realize Kaoru was a part of that. Or there's a weird exchange between, or like not even a verbal exchange, but there's a little weird exchange on the escalator between Rei and Kaoru that I'd never seen before. So to be in the booth and be working on something that monumental is pretty big deal. Sayuki, obviously, it was a bigger deal to go back and work on since we had that show taken away from us and then they did a bad dub of it. It was neat to be able to revisit those characters and give those a just ending. Colorful is the one I most strongly feel about right now, just because I spend so much time doing anti-bullying stuff and pro us stuff, that the message in that film is so cool. And it's depressing. It starts off as such a depressing show. I said it's the happiest ending for a totally depressing show I've ever seen. But that another, I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So it's tough. Like I go from thing to thing. Chrono Crusade's another big one because the creator is a friend of mine. The mangaka is a very dear friend of mine, Daisuke Moriyama, and so bringing life to something that somebody I know created from scratch is really, really, really cool by itself. So it's tough to pick one thing. It would be like asking Gordon Ramsay what's his favorite food, I guess, except anything from Amy's Baking Company. No, I'm kidding. But yes, those of y'all that are laughing saw that episode. I'm actually trying to plan a trip to Arizona just so I can go. I want to go to that awful restaurant. But yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to forgive me because what I'm about to say is so dorky.
Oh, I'm a big dork, so you won't freak me out.
Your voice is so handsome. Like, would you ever?
But I don't take compliments well.
Do you ever think about singing a character song and doing what Vic McNovey does?
Oh no. I like singing. I'm a singer, definitely. I've sung in character voice. I mean, the cool thing is, I was raised in musical theater, my whole background, and I was in a band when I was a little kid. I mean, I am a singer, period. I auditioned for Cirque du Soleil. In fact, maybe that's the secret Easter egg. I might let y'all hear my Cirque du Soleil audition, because everybody thinks it sounds like a 9-year-old Chinese girl, which is weird. I'm like, well, that's very, they're like, it sounds like a little Chinese girl. I'm like, that's a very specific thing to say about my voice. What about my voice makes you think I'm a Chinese girl? That being said, I am a singer. I'm a trained singer. I love singing, and I get very embarrassed when people ask me to sing. Similarly, say, sing on a panel. I'm not a ham, which is hard, which makes being a good singer hard, because I like singing on stage when there's so many lights in my face I can't see anybody, because then it's just like me singing in the shower. But I thought for a long time that anime fans would never realize that I was a singer, and then in 1 year, I ended up doing this project with a bunch of voice actors called Voices for Peace, where we raised money for charity. We recorded a rock and roll album, so I got to sing this punk rock Green Day version of the theme from Billy Jack, One Tin Soldier, which was really cool. And then I was cast as the lead in Beck, which, how cool is that show? I got to be the lead singer in a rock band for, a whole year practically while we were recording it. And then in that same time period, I got cast as the lead in a show called Nerima Daikon Brothers, which is like if the Blues Brothers and Excel Saga had a baby and it was a musical, that's it. And the cool thing about doing Excel Saga, Nerima Daikon Brothers, is I play this character that sound like a cross between Foghorn Leghorn and Fred Flintstone, who's just this loud, southern-sounding, always screaming dude. And doing Beck, singing in Koyuki's voice is just me. Hearing Koyuki sing or hearing Koyuki even talk is just like hearing me talk. Koyuki's way more laid back than I am. He's just like, whatever. But singing as Hideki was tough because how do you take a guy that's like, Mako, get over here, you know, this like throaty voice, who sings a high tenor line. So that being said, it was so much fun singing those songs because it was challenging. I had to figure out how to sing like that, and I love it. One of the secret outtake reels that you'll never hear that Laura Bailey did when we were working on the show Kodacha, she made all of the characters sing different hip hop and rap songs in their voices. And so somewhere at Funimation, there was a whole reel of me as Tsuyoshi Oki singing, "Pump up the jams, pump it up while your feet are pumping. Look here, the crowd is." And I made him like real offbeat, so he sounded really white and all that. But, we had a lot of fun doing those outtakes. So yeah, but I like to sing. But here's something I'm gonna say, and then please just take it to mean what you want it to mean. I have no desire to make anything and sell it to you. I'm just as happy to just hang out with you for the weekend and get to know you guys. I perform for a living, so I'm gonna let the studios make me rich, which they're never gonna do that. And I'm gonna hang out with you. I'm never gonna ask you for your money or whatever. That's just not who I am. I just rather hang out with you guys. So, and as far as me doing a concert, I did one last night. It's called A Rave, and I'm doing it again tonight. So, and that's my favorite thing. And I think I give just as much doing that. I think I give more sometimes doing that than I ever would doing a rock concert. Cause like, oh man, tonight it's gonna be ridiculous. I'm gonna get soaking wet before that. Like I end up dumping water on myself and stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a really good time tonight. So yeah, back there. Yeah, pointing at your head. Yes.
Well, I just want to say thanks for coming to Minnesota.
Oh, I love Minnesota. This is one of my favorite places in the world. I even said that before I left.
Like even like every con I've been to here, but as you had said in another, there's a scene involving the umbrella.
Yeah.
And it sort of comes as a surprise, like after the first two episodes, which are fairly tame.
Just
but
setting it up real well.
Yeah, it sets it up very well.
Yeah.
But what anime have you ever worked on or just seen that's just surprised you, just out of nowhere?
I think Another is the first one that has hit me like that.
Because it really is like a holy crap moment.
Well, the cool thing about Another is my brother was directing it, which my brother and I used to live together. We don't anymore. I live on an island now, which I love, and I don't want to change, but I think I might have to move soon, which just sucks. But so I don't see my brother a lot. So when he's working on a new project, I don't really know a lot about it. Whereas before, well, like when he was prepping here at Narima Daikon Brothers, he's like, you might better brush up on your singing. There's a show I might need your help on. And so I knew things about that, but like coming into Another, I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about Misaki, which that whole thing is cool all by itself. In fact, there's something that he and I discovered working on the show, and I'm not going to give it away, but those of you that have seen the show will know what I'm talking about. There's a character that is closely in relation to Misaki that is creepy, and she always says the exact same thing. We decided that she's a doll, actually. We decided she's probably not even real. That she is just there, and she always says the same things. But like, it was cool because I got to discover that whole, yeah, you know what I'm talking about now. We got to discover that whole show together, and that show itself has got, I told somebody, it does such a good job of laying its red herrings out that every time you think you've figured out something, it's totally different. So that show, I think, is the one that takes the cake, definitely. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite anime to watch that you're not involved with?
Oh, thank you, because I watch a lot of things I'm not in. My favorite, I have two favorite anime of all time that I'm not in. One should tell you that I love creepy psychological anime, and that's a show called Boogie Pop Phantom. Love, really good. I'm so glad to see there's Boogie Pop Phantom fans. And then another one that tells you way more about me than you probably already knew anyway. Fushigi Yugi is one of my all-time favorites, which makes me a big girly boy, and that's fine. I embrace that. The bad humor side of me loves this older show called Ping Pong Club. If you've never, yay, somebody that's heard of Ping Pong Club. It's like the original Beavis and Butthead South Park, only it was done by the Japanese, so it's way funnier and way weirder. And then my favorite anime of all time is a movie, long form, and if you haven't seen it, you really do. Nausicaa, The Valley of the Winds is all-time favorite. I've seen that movie so many times, and I'm so impressed that every time I see it, I still feel the same way. Like, you know, like when you hear a song, it makes you feel a certain way. That's when I see this film, it always makes me feel a certain way. Here's a neat tidbit, and some of you might know this, some of you might not. Those of you who've seen Nausicaa, if you, the great monster that is being hatched and eventually does not turn into what it's supposed to, that was actually one of the first animation projects for Hideaki Anno, who eventually ended up doing Evangelion. So it's funny that in this world of Miyazaki, the darkest thing that happens in that film was actually oversaw by Hideaki Anno, which is a neat like crossover there. So, but yeah, I think we're almost, I don't even know what time it is, wait. Okay, we got 15 minutes, good, okay.
I wanted to ask what your favorite video game was.
It's tough. It's just, that's like asking me what my favorite song is. Because I could go back to like old coin-op games like Mappy and stuff like that, but Left 4 Dead is probably the one I clock the most hours on. Like my friends say that I spend way too much time running the same levels on Left 4 Dead, but that never gets old to me ever. My favorite franchise is Silent Hill. My friends jokingly say that if I ever woke up in Silent Hill, I would know my way around. Because when they stay true to the map, I know where everything is. I'm like, okay, wait, the bowling alley's down here. Hang on just a second. Go, okay, turn. You're going to the amusement park now. Like, I love Silent Hill. I thought the new one was bizarre, to say the least. But I saw the movies, and one of my dear friends does all the music for the games, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who's also, most of y'all know her as like Major Motoko and, you know, Standalone Agent, or Ghost in the Shell, and she was the director of Wolf's Rain and Naruto, but she does the music, and I think she has the sexiest voice on the planet. She was in the new redub of the second game, which is cool. Really dug BioShock Infinite a lot. That's a ridiculously cool game. I was running around in a Songbird shirt yesterday, so is there a game I'm excited about playing? Oh yeah, there's okay. Guilty pleasure, there's an Adventure Time game coming out for the Wii U that I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, I'm a big Adventure Time nerd. Zombie U I'm having a lot of fun with. I got a free Wii U, which I don't know whether I like that system or not, but I've had a lot of fun playing Zombie U on the Wii U. That's been fun too. But and I just started playing Fable, which is weird because I can't believe I never knew that game existed. But I like dancing with everybody. It's fun. And dipping grown men. It looks really funny. So yeah, Blue with the cool hair. Yes.
So, which is more emotionally scarring, Landed, Afterstory, or Angel Beats?
Wow. Wow. Here's a great story about Angel Beats, though. Doc Ock, Dr. Awkward, who's one of the Nerdcore rappers here this weekend, we got to be friends just through doing this, and I like his music, and we're hanging out or whatnot. He decided he was going to try to watch something that I was in. He's like, well, I'm gonna watch one of Greg's shows, and of all the shows he picked as his first, it was Angel Beats. And he got on my Facebook the next day after he got to the end of the show, and he's like, listen, mister, the next time you make me cry while I'm trying to watch a cartoon, we are going to have words. And the cool thing is that he did a little rap about Angel Beats, which was cool. But I think, honestly, Clannad is the most scarring. I think Clannad is just devastating at times. And that's why I love my character, because I really hated Sunahara when I met him. I thought he was just obnoxious. But that being said, I like, you know, I could play that kid well. I could be obnoxious. So, but when things get dark in that show, and I mean dark, you just hope that Sunahara shows up, even if it's just for a second. So you like, there's like one little, you know, all that in the toilet is maybe all you need to laugh at a scene. But I think definitely Clannad is the harder of the two to sit through. I think all of them are sad, definitely. But yeah, Clannad, I think, yeah, that's the worst, I think. Yeah, I think I've got time for like one or two more if I'm gonna show y'all something or play something for y'all. I would pick you, you're waving, but I've already picked you, so maybe next, I gotta go you next. Yes?
For Oron,
Uh-huh. If you're talking about the gay stuff, no. Here is a newsflash. I'm gay in real life, so not shocking in the least. It weirds me out that people don't know that even. So I thought it was funny. He and Caitlin thought it was awkward. I just gayed it up for those scenes. But I think what was more frustrating about that show is the way we had to record it, because Todd and I both had to use the other as a springboard. And if I went in first, Todd had to copy what I did. If Todd went in first, I had to copy what he did. As an actor, you get used to doing things your way. So to have to perform to somebody else's mark is obnoxious. So during that time period, he and I were really always racing to see who could get in first, because you don't want to have to parrot anybody. But no, the gay stuff, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. It was funny. Funny. In fact, here's a funny story that you can only hear it if you listen to the commentary. There's a commentary track where it's where